This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Nau mai hoki mai whānau to our live stream here at Te Papaoia, Palmerston North for the Bunnings Warehouse National Finals for our Masters grades. And in this final coming up here, we have two teams that have been dominant in the grade so far. We've got the men's 45 Masters Canterbury versus Auckland, the very, very traditional battle this. They'll know each other inside and out, these two teams, and it's stacked full of New Zealand representatives both sides. And I'm proudly joined here in the commentary box. Rod Mitter, how's your day been, my man?
It's been a little bit hectic, obviously, enjoying the commentary that I am, sitting here with you guys. I just had to dash off there and do a little bit of coaching and coach mentoring with the Auckland mixed second team. The frustration is forever. Recently, you'll certainly know about that. But everyone's here, everyone's enjoying themselves, and the shape up of this battle it's certainly an interesting one, because you're right. There's a lot of key players here that have been around for a long time. So interesting battle coming up.
Yeah, it's a unsung job that you're all doing here from Touch New Zealand and organising this. And here come the Auckland side now, running out. Got a three-man team here in the commentary box, and I'm joined with world-class referee turned Touch New Zealand volunteer, Maya Williams, worldly experienced in refereeing, and it was awesome, Maya, to be joined with John Dusto for a snippet of that last game in the 40 women's, just to kind of get a different perspective. And I think that's been the beauty of what we've been able to do here, being a coach and currently in this tournament, and being able to get some key comments and explanations from the referees been awesome. And just while Maya's getting ready to go, the Auckland side's getting ready here, and just waiting for the names to come up, but I can just spiel off a couple. You've got Dave Edmonds. A lot of these names are going to be very familiar to the Touch community. Daryl Baker, Paul Montero, Ramika, Milner, Harper, Heta. Here come the Canterbury side now, and as you can see, it's a walkout of our 45 men's. Couple of special mentions from the Canterbury side from me. Peter Pan, Darren Wright. The Wright family's pretty famous down in Christchurch. He's a world-renowned chef, hence the nickname Peter Pan. Great with the pan. Volunteers. Just quickly going through the Canterbury team: Franklin, Pateman, Collier, Sean Collier, who'll be one to watch. He runs the side. Nigel Heath, Hunt Anderson, Jason Kino, Matua Jace, who was the Reo Mauri teacher at my boys' kura down in Christchurch. All the best, Matua. And I tell you what, if you don't already know who Wisang Parker is, he is a legend in the game. And from Motueka, in the top of the beautiful South Island there, but represented Canterbury for a very, very long time. So I'm looking forward to this battle, men.
Yep, definitely looking forward to it. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. I was just talking to you pre-game about the Canterbury province. I'm pretty sure they've pretty much been in every single final that we've had on today. And you talked about the amount of players that have come back into the system, whether that be coaching or whatnot, to try and improve the quality of the touchdown. They were obviously in the Masters grades. We know where all the good players used to be from in the Open grades, because they've been in every final.
Yeah, and what you're seeing here in these finalist teams from Canterbury, was the progression when they were very, very good in the opens. And they've just gone through and they've kept a core group of players. Thanks for saying that, Mauri. Unfortunately, they're probably the only Masters team that didn't make a final was my 30 men's, but we've had a great time here in Palmerston North, and it's been awesome there. As you can see, Jason Kennell there. He must be doing a lot of mahi because he's got a few more grey hairs under that hat. But the 2-minute music, if you don't already know, the 2-minute music is famous in our game. They tried to change it a wee bit there to the Crazy Frog, but I'm glad it stayed.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad it stayed, and they tried to get rid of it one time. People were complaining. I was like, how dare you, that's blasphemy, getting rid of the 2-minute music. I mean, even in a real sense, just as a referee, you know, okay, cool, game time's about to come up, you just chill out a little bit, you collect your breath. One thing I am looking over to at the back of our in-goal area there where the big screen is the Canterbury 30 men's team. I didn't realise, no, not 30 men's team, the 40 men's team. Didn't realise how much they are into slushies. They've all got a slushie there, drinking their slushies. It must be a what do you call it when you're trying to repair, or recovery. It must be a recovery drink that they have, all the Canterbury 40 men's.
Well, it'll be the first time I've ever seen them drink slushies at a tournament, Maya, but I can tell you right now, with those bunch of guys, they'll be following the rules until they get back to their accommodation, and my 30 boys are actually going to go and catch up with the boys a bit later on, so I'll be the driver. And I can tell you what, I'm talking about drivers, there's a lot of drivers in both these sides. This is going to be a ding-dong battle.
Give me your prediction then, boys. Let's see how the fence is before this game.
Okay, for me, I'm going to go with Canterbury by a small margin. There's a couple of players in here. Number 13 from Canterbury, Phil Adams, could probably still play open men's in this 45 grade, so...
Yeah, I myself, obviously, Auckland based. I'll have to go with the Aucklanders, based around number 16 there, Jason Kaiwai, and also core Richard Masters. So, it's going to be a beauty.
And seeing we're all going with our teams, I'll have to go for the referees. That means as we crack into our first game, Auckland hot on attack. The number 12, just a quickie play, looks to go under. Great defence there. Wee-Sung made sure the referee knew that he had touched them.
Yeah, his support middle, his shutter middle was right there for him there. Wee-Sung Parker pulled a good corner. Hamish Dean was there for cover, and now he'll become the saver. Oh, beautiful to see the 45 boys.
Six again, is it? Ooh. Yep, there we go. Good call, I think, there in the end. Initially, I thought the support referee come on nice and early to get set for that 5-5, but gave him the signal, and we got the right call there, Rod.
Yeah, that's the man, Jason Kaiwai. I pointed him out before, the man with the hair, but he's got the long ball, and we'll see what Frondelich and Edmonds can come up with here.
Maya, just as we run through this play here, they're looking for a 3-3, feed the splitter, looking to step back maybe. Oh, it's a passive line. These 45 boys are running the open men's place.
I like it.
Hence the reason why as soon as I see it, it's an easy one to call, but Maya, this refereeing crew, you got some whakapapa for us here, bro?
Yep, so number of these referees we've seen throughout the day. I think we've seen Joe Joachim on a number of the live streams, and I'm pretty sure this might be one of our Bay boys. I can't quite see who's out there just from this angle on the tent.
Here's Phil Adams here now. He's an amazing athlete, this guy, Phil Adams from Canterbury, number 13. He'll look to dominate a lot of the attack with some defensive players. Look at the way that Canterbury, famously, they move one way, then they check it back, take the outside. Phil Adams will look to show the outside cut, and we're into the end goal here. Oh, and it's a great recovery touch there.
This really good attack work from both teams there, Reese.
Yeah, 100%. And Wayne Anderson, if those that already don't know, the Anderson family. Wayno there, Wayne Anderson, legend in the game. You can put him alongside the names of Walters, Hotham, Rangihuna, who often doesn't get talked about nowadays now that he lives in Australia. But Johnny Rangihuna is in the same bracket as a lot of these guys, and as Canterbury are going to look to take advantage of this turnover.
Canterbury here on attack, fresh set. As we see, Hamish Dean. Wayne Anderson. Back to the middle. Nothing really on. A few touches left up.
Connections defensively, they're quite good, the whole push-pull, the point stepping up. If the ball shifts off, then they're dropping out. Over the top. He's got the legs too. Oh, yes, I think that's down first.
Yeah, I think the winger from Auckland there, if had his time over, probably would have left his feet and dived out. I'm sure he would have got to him if he did. However, good work there from Canterbury.
Yeah, number 2 there from Canterbury, the winger, Jared Pateman, stalwart of this team, really. As you can see, Anderson there checks off to Phil Adams, and a little long ball there. Nice little chop there too by Nigel Heath, understands the game. If he hadn't have run into that little hole there with the winger to come in a wee bit, that over-the-top ball might not have happened. So great structure from Canterbury to take a 1-0 lead here, 4 minutes into the first half.
I mean, we were talking about the referees, a little bit earlier, Maya, and I was surprised. I went out at halftime during one of the other games, and they're just as much into sorting out what's going right and wrong, and in their game as well, and just the amount of preparation that they put into these games.
Yeah, for sure. They're under the most scrutiny. Everyone else can make a mistake except for the referees, and they've done a really good job. I mean, this would be our, I think, 18th live stream game, and to the best of my knowledge, both Rod and Reese, there hasn't been any major blunder, but actually some good quality refereeing that's really added to the product. Straight through.
I think this ball might be a dummy half, yeah. Not too sure what happened there, but I don't think the referee picked it up, that the player had said no touch. And we've been harping on it. It might sound like we're harping on a wee bit, Maya and Rod, but the honesty of the players, maybe it's because it's on the live stream and there's replays, I think, men, but I've seen it in all our grade as well, the 30 men. The honesty has been great. As we can see in the replay here, rips off short side. Number 12, yeah, as you can see there, number 1, Gary Franklin saying no touch, and feeds the winger there for a good try to level it up, 1-1.
And just again, unfortunately, probably the last Auckland person that you needed to go try touch was the dummy half. If they just got into that good mirror, protecting everyone else, then probably would have stopped the try.
Yeah, Phil Adams again to Wisung. They'll look to work something here, especially Wisung short side. Here he goes. The former coach and player coach of, former player coach of Japan. Spent a bit of time in Japan, Wisung, and great player, and it looks like, especially with that red uniform on, he's had a great summer anyway. Looks like he's got a few rays as they come here sweeping out of dummy half to the short side. Phil Adams, great defence, Auckland. Not too sure what this penalty is for here, Rod.
Didn't quite get all the way back, 2 feet on the scoreline. Offside penalty.
This is when the pressure starts building. You get those repeat sets, defensively, and it does start making things hard. Gives Canterbury the opportunity to get through their systems and try something different.
Yeah, look at Phil Adams. He's the orchestrator of this side, along with Sean Collier. As they're coming in here, they're looking for a little bit short rep play. No, rips off from dummy half, Wayne Anderson. The Anderson. Yeah, unfortunately there, not a dummy half, just clocked off, and great work there by the Auckland player.
Yeah, Mike Berry there, and Mike Berry is one of those players. He's a journeyman, he's a workhorse, and as you can see there, he'll just keep working all day, and he just saw that ball available, and just made the best of it.
Yeah, the Anderson family there, Wayne the father, his sons play for the Nelson open mixed side, and they're going very, very well as they rip off Auckland down the short side, and a draw feed in the corner. Yeah, that looks like ball down to me, lads.
Yeah, there was a nice little pick there by Tony Stevens, and you can guarantee by tonight he would have picked and run that the full length of the field before he passed that ball off.
Oh, and just squares up the defender, gets the play-through call, and unfortunately the winger from Canterbury there needed to collapse on the draw. Nice draw feed and a great finish in the corner.
Yeah, that winger from Canterbury gave him a little bit extra just to let him know I might have been late this time, but I won't next time. 2-1 Auckland.
Yep, I'll just let you know a few little things, boys. This Canterbury side, a lot of these guys are actually coaches of the youth grade, so they better be careful that they're practicing what they preach here. Wouldn't be surprised me if Kino, number 7, is looking to get out of half at some stage. Just as we speak about the Andersons, the sons of, just walked past us and they look very fresh. So if we're at the TAB and touches the thing, I'd get on the Nelson Open Mixed. Here they go. There's Kino there with a little inside pop. Sorry, not Kino, that was Gary Franklin. Yeah, just look a little bit disjointed here, Canterbury. Yeah,
it didn't look like they had a move that they were going to be running there, sort of just the one-off individual play. As we see Auckland work their way around. I like this set so far. Still going forward. Third touch just short of the halfway line. And here's our man from Auckland. Good touch there from Auckland, just sort of, from Canterbury, just disrupted the flow they had. So we see the number 1, Ty Benedito.
Seven on. Maya, where does this penalty occur?
No, he was just checking to see if the player was okay.
Oh, okay. I saw 2 hands go up, so I thought I saw the 5 and 2, but here we go now. Franklin, bit of a heavy touch. This will be one grade if it gets a bit heated, that these guys won't shy away from each other, referee or not. Wayne Anderson coming on the ball here. Scoop. Gets to the short side, looks for the draw feed. Good defence again by Auckland. Gee, they really do have their systems in place here, Rod.
Yeah, they do, and there's certainly no love lost. I mean, it's it's supposed to be not full contact, but they're not far from it. And as we see Auckland starting to get into their systems here and bring it down the field, get the fresh set on, fresh legs, and we'll see what they can provide through the exit part of their transition.
Yeah, you wouldn't think this was the 45s grade, that's for sure. These guys at the back end of the tournament are still running pretty well. So
Farnworth and Stevens. You see, Stephen, just a nice lob over to the link channel.
Yeah, Pateman would look to shut down a lot of defence out there on that far edge on this box side.
Canterbury guarding it away off their defensive goal line.
Yeah, if Canterbury are going to get back into this, it's going to come from either Wayne Anderson, Sean Collier, Kenmore, or Phil Adams in particular. And there's Phil Adams here on this near side link. Weesung comes out dummy half, hits Phil Adams on the out, and he'll just walk that one in. So the one I didn't mention was Weesung Parker, and as you can see, very, very talented, especially at this. And true sign of being a team player. Here he comes and he wants to do a defensive set. But as you can see, Weesung takes the corner, steps back into the shutdown defence, and they went into man on. And Phil Adams just very, very smart in terms of where he needs to be as a support player. And Canterbury level this back up at 2-2.
It wasn't that many years ago when you might see 1 out of 10 tries being scored off a left to right long ball. To be honest, without counting, I'm pretty sure most of the tries that we see on long balls have been off left to right passes. So obviously the skill development from all of our players now is just all round. You can't just be strong one way, you have to be strong both ways. And even in our 27 women's, that's where I was most impressed with the ball carrying skills.
Oh yeah, Morgan, she was amazing. And there's Auckland identifying a collapse on the short side, and very, very well constructed try by those lads.
Yeah, well, those two have been working, together for a long time, for Aldrich and Edmonds, and Kaiwai did a good job here, just to draw on the defence, and then the little check off. So, they've had some time together, and it's certainly starting to show.
Yeah, well called, and Auckland at the moment deserving their slim lead. And saying that, we've got some good strike players coming on here for Canterbury now that'll look to work the ball. Here comes Wayne Anderson as well. Whenever you have Wayne Anderson and Phil Adams on the field at the same time, it's usually going to develop in some sort of play here. As you can see here, Phil Adams on a backdoor play, looking to late cut in. It's Nigel Heath, World Cup winner as well, representing New Zealand. A quickie, oh yeah, a little bit of a crossover, and I'm not too sure he was blowing that kiss to, but
the last try we seen the old heart symbol come out, and now we see him blowing kisses. Is this just a Canterbury thing? Is this what you like down there?
Well, we're loving people down there. I know it doesn't quite seem like that with all the banter and the way that we like to tell referees how we see the game. But yeah, it's a loving whānau down there. And here come Auckland now. It's 3-3 now, coming into this last quarter-ish of this first half. Looking to get second phase, so they probably could have gone second phase here, but it's a good defensive unit out there for Canterbury at the moment, so Auckland will need to be sharp here. Coming down on the dingo play, looking to chuck long. Yeah, Pateman again. So he swapped wings, but he does a very, very good job, and very, very good team player as well.
Must be getting pretty hot out of there. I just seen the Canterbury 40s men's at the back there get their second lot of slushies. So if they didn't used to drink slushies, they're obviously fan favourites of it.
Hydrating as much as possible, the Canterbury 40s. You mentioned earlier about how many gold medals some of those guys would have in their possession, where you can ring up another one for some of those guys. There's a quickie play. Yeah, well refereed. I'm not too sure that player got back on side.
No, definitely didn't. But what I like, the number 12 there for Auckland, Stephen Fordlich, hopefully I don't butcher that name, but he almost put the offside player in the referee's head the play before. He looked up to the referee and said, hey, look, he's not going to get onside. So this time here, how'd you see him pointing it out? Look, leaving early. So he had this number 8 from Canterbury in the referee's head. And great work there from Stephen, the number 12 from Auckland, with that touchdown.
Yeah, Steve Fawnlich, he's done a lot of work with in teams with Galaxy Boy with Pete Walters, and Steve's a very good ref. He's never actually picked up the whistle, but he's a very good ref when he's on there.
The best ones are, aren't they, Reece?
Oh, 100%. We're all working really, really hard on our Afi whānau and making sure that we're supporting the game as best as possible. But with any given sport, when you have so much time and emotion invested into something, sometimes it gets out of hand. But our Afi crew out there, who are supporting our sidelines and encouraging everybody to be positive, are doing a great job out there. If you ever want some encouragement or would need some help in terms of your sideline behaviour, don't be afraid to go up and tap anybody with an Afi singlet. They do a great job here, as all our volunteers do in Auckland here, sweeping on again. A beautiful right-hand scoop with the one hand. Ooh, another tight call on the non-play that. I suppose if you have a good position in terms of being in the defensive line and your hands there, the referee's going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Canterbury haven't completed their last couple of sets coming off the yard, so they'll be looking to complete this one cleanly.
Look at the Auckland defence, all 6 of their players within the 20 metres of the right-hand side of the field, so really working for each other. No one taking a holiday off out on the open side, getting in there, doing those yards, sending the wave up.
Canterbury will look to identify this, because they've got quite a few boys that can run pretty well, especially out here at link number 4 for Canterbury. Nigel Heath, very, very athletic crossfitter. One thing this Canterbury team won't do, just like the women's previously, is fade away. They'll just keep running, as Wayne Anderson here looks to put a play on, sends in his number 15, looks to get the half, attacks the short side, beautiful late cut, and that looks like ball down. Yes, great work. Number 15, Mike Donny, who I haven't mentioned before, but another great player down there for Canterbury with years and years of experience. And now that I look a little bit closer to this team sheet, there's multiple World Cup winners in all kind of facets, and here you can see it on the dive. Beautiful position from the referee. If there's anybody at the park, they saw ball down first. It's
Auckland 4-all. Canterbury just hit back there. Going to get back one ahead. I'm loving the scoreline. I won't say why. It hasn't worked in the previous games. Here we see Stephen again, working with David Edmonds. Steps back, goes under. Great defence there. Wee Sung's just laughing. Like, seriously, I think the China Wall's got more chance of getting through than me.
Yeah, well, he would have been pretty close to the China Wall with his time spent in Japan, but I'm amazed at with the dingo play with the wrapper.
Oh, great work from the winger if he got this ball down. Looks like referee took the 2 steps back. That was great work from the inside player from Auckland, but it was really the winger to be able to catch it in no space, manipulate his body, and then get the ball to ground. As we see here, the setup, just the 3-3 play, little peel as the link comes in, wrap around, in no space, the winger gets it, turns to the side and gets ball down. Great try there from number 4, Donovan Douglas.
Yeah, I think it was a nice little change up there. They've done that a couple of times, just come down the lane, and they've usually gone long back to this side. But this time, he stepped short side and just worked that wing quite well.
Yeah, that's right. And here's Anderson and Adams looking to work something here. Heath as well. They look like it's a bit of a combination going on. Phil Adams will look to get out our dummy half here. Feeds the splitter, and unfortunately Anderson drops that one. Maybe just slightly on a different page there, those two. Yeah,
definitely. I think you could tell that from the body language from Adams. Was that the link?
Yep, so Adams was at link, and he looked to feed the quickie to the crossover
Much different defence here from Canterbury, as you've seen them stayed fanned out. Be interesting to see if we get an opportunity again to see that Auckland defence. Canterbury off in yards, but Auckland on attack here. So we see Benedito getting it out to the winger. Donovan couldn't quite get it there. Good change up from the Canterbury winger. Just be interested to see if we get a wide shot of this Auckland defence to see if they can press in again. It looks like they have all 6 of their players in one half of the field, just helping each other out, making sure there's no gaps as we see. Look now, probably 15 metres you could throw a blanket over them, Reece.
Yep, that's right. They're really looking to compress that sub box to stop Canterbury's yards, but to no avail, because here you go, they've got field position. Donovan trying to get out of half. Not too sure, it sounds like it's the last touch. Rips off short side. A good defence. And we've got an intercept here. This is going to be a bit of a foot race. It's good to see as Kendall's coming across the field. Yeah. And gives him a little bit of a push. I tell you what, Matua Jace Kino, my son better not be watching this on the live stream, because he sees you as a very, very clean operator. So, son, if you're watching this, don't replay that. If not, take a screenshot and put it up in the classroom the other day. But what a great intercept getting in the lane. I must admit, although it's a 5-4 lead to Auckland, their defence has been very, very strong in this game.
Yeah, I think the big call there is it's just been active. You know, no one's holding on the line. They're all moving up and working with it. And once again, we see Edmonds and Thornlich, you know, just with the setup, Kaiwai at link there. So I'm expecting to play a 3-3, and if that doesn't work, then they'll come back down the lane again.
Yeah, the Canterbury team, as we see here, Auckland, hot on attack, short ball. Just the Canterbury team again on their last attack, just not on the same page. Went short side, got it into numbers, but unfortunately the link did a late cut rather than a shake, so that's where that pass back infield got the intercept from. So just need to get on the same page, have it sorted in the box, so when they flow in from the sub-box after the yards, everyone knows what they're up to. Is better set now, deep into the Auckland line as we hear the half-time hooter. Just again, the late cut, not sure that was the play. However, nice close one. Canterbury 4, Auckland 5 as we go into the halftime break of the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse Nationals 45 men's grade.
Well done, team. Keep it going. Keep it going. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done. Well done, team. Good. For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, but Mahi never stops. Thanks, mate. Okay, team, come on in. Let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in, guys. Nominate your homegrown hero today. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Mai hoki mai e te whānau to the Bunnings Warehouse National Championship Masters Finals here in Papaoia, Palmerston North, Auckland Park. And I can tell you what, I used to live here for a few years. I was a former student at Palmerston North Boys High School. The weather is absolutely cracking. I feel like I'm at Hagley Park in Christchurch, just catching up with another legend of Touch New Zealand. And, well, I'm going to say Te Awa Tipua Wanganui, representing Manawatu 30 men, Sean Brown, the legend that we have, Maya. just giving us a little bit of feedback from their game, but great to see our legends of the game, former representatives of New Zealand, World Cup winners coming back and representing the provinces in the Masters grade. It's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, and just no surprise what he said. Just totally humble, just full respect to the Canterbury team and how they got it over them. Said his boys played their best. Just seen some stuff in that final they hadn't seen throughout the tournament. So just some typical humble self and a great winner, but also a great in defeat, humble as we see Canterbury.
Sign of a humble and a team player. He's actually carrying the water bottle, so it was awesome to coach against B-Man. We appreciate his efforts, especially what he's been doing with the youth, and hopefully he's got his expression of interest in for New Zealand for the World Cup. But here we go, Canterbury making a mistake off the first tap. That would not have been in the halftime report and comment, Rob.
No. I just popped in at halftime just to have a bit of a listen to the Auckland halftime talk, and there was certainly no talk about their attack. It was all about defence. So they respect this Canterbury team immensely, and they know what they have to do to try and to keep them out.
For the both of you as coaches, what is it like when your team's going out in the second half? You set up your play, you've got the ball to start with, and you just drop it in the start?
Happened 4 times in my games, Maya, because it's really the only time you can actually put a set play together from halfway. Otherwise, the rest of the time, you're moving from any part of the field.
Great attack there from Canterbury, equal defence.
Well, there's nothing you can really say, You can't be angry, you can't be upset. You just got to move on quickly, because as we know, this game goes way too quick to hold any kind of animosity towards anyone, but just goes back to the skill set. I say it time and time again, we're in the 3rd day of the Masters grade. These guys have got a lot of miles under their legs and kilometres under their legs, and you just got to do their best and try and keep it as positive as possible.
I don't think there'd be a coach around that wouldn't have experienced that, Reece. And these things happen, and it's important that if it does, then you flush it, right? And because you can't change that, you've just got to flush it and move on with the next thing.
Yep, and that's one thing I really learned from the couple of coaches that I've spent a little bit of time with from Australia, actually. The ability for the Australian players in particular to forget about a mistake within seconds and move on. And sometimes when you dwell on something too much, it's no good. Like those few years there, the Auckland Blues have been no good for me. Being a Canterbury man, I probably shouldn't say that on live TV, but but it's starting to come good now. So here's Canterbury now, and there's Nigel Heath out of half. Hits the outside, and here's our man. There he is, Matua Jason Kino.
What do we got here? Calling in a sideline official. He's in no hurry. Not sure what this might have been.
Possibly a hold.
Yeah, looks like he gave him the A-OK. Love to see a replay of what went down in the corner of the field there. As we see it here, Reece is the Canterbury player, the number 4. Steps off his right, gets through the gap. Nice little pass. He's our man who ends up scoring the try. Just seeing what happened in the corner.
I think it's actually the inside player there. Thought he might have owned the space before the attacking player had gone through, and just a little bit of contact, but it didn't have any effect on the play. And after an initial penalty and a push and shove from Jason Kino, he shows some good athleticism from Nigel Heath's scoop, and they're into it, and they've levelled this one up 5-all. Here's the crossover quickie, looking to take the outside, diving touch.
Oh, just the body language of that get up. Oh, I thought there was a touchdown the way he got up there. Seemed to have a bit of swag about him as he went to pick the ball up. Referee in the great spot.
Great touch. Last touch here, so Canterbury will look to shut this down. Nice late cut, chasing in Canterbury. And Auckland should score here, yes.
Really, really surprised Canterbury got caught on that. Oh. I thought that was an easy try, lads. Your call?
No, I think he might have gone close to the outside line, I think, Mike.
As we see here. Got the referee's call. Yep, gave him the all clear. I was really surprised. Obviously, all teams do it. The only thing you've got when it's the 5th touch is the old try and latch a defender and do the late. So really surprised to see that the Canterbury lads sort of fell into this trap. But what was good was the skip ball after it. The winger come in to shut, skipped across his face, out to his winger. Standing flat-footed, got the speed up. Easy try.
Yeah, good try. As you can see, a little bit of a fist pump from the on-field referee there. who was in a little bit of doubt or wanted confirmation, and as he saw the replay on the big screen, gave himself a fist pump, and that's always good to see, ref. Give yourself a pat on the back, you owe yourself a little bit of a shut up. But here comes Canterbury, they'll look to hit back nice and strong. Wisang Paka. Yeah, he's assessing this little wee short side here. He wants the ball back. He'll want it straight back. Here you go.
Interesting there. I've seen that one building. There's a couple of touches just before that one that was penalised where Wisang didn't like the way the Auckland defender had touched them, and so I think he was trying to get in back there, and unfortunately it didn't work this time. You see the penalty there against the Canterbury team for a hold in the ruck. You don't often see that one.
Ebbs and flows here, whānau, and just like the tides of our mighty Tangaroa, there's another tidal shift here. Auckland with a little bit of momentum now.
Starting to see some of that little cheap stuff. We've seen the left hand there from the number 8 from Canterbury, Hamish Dean, trying to whack that ball out.
Dean will try and play at the ball most times as they split. Look to hit the short ball. Great play by the winger number 5 there from Canterbury, Hunt.
Yeah, that was a nice pass, but just if he just went out wide, would have been easy try, Rod.
Yeah, I think there's the opportunities for that sinker have been here. The first couple of times, and they probably should have gone there then. But maybe all eyes in, and there wasn't really looking out there.
Yeah, and when I talked about it before when Auckland scored their tries, what I mean by chasing in is that if a team picks it up and runs infield on last touch there, the last thing you want to do is chase them because they're running towards your strong side, which means you've got more players on that side. Once you start chasing, you're susceptible to a late cut, and that's where they got cooked there, Canterbury. They know better than that, but they'll look to not dwell on it. Yeah, unlucky there. I'd really like to see Wayne Anderson, or Wayno as he's famously known, really look to get live and use his athleticism here in this grade, who I believe is still eligible probably for the 50s, so good full credit for him to playing in his own, playing in a grade that he suits.
Yeah, I think there's some opportunities there for Canterbury out wide when Auckland is defending. They're coming really, really tight just to help one another out, and it's tightening that defence up quite a lot. So there's room out wide for Canterbury.
Out of dummy half here, looking to rip short side. Wayne Anderson chasing hard. Yeah, and good shutdown defence there. So Phil Adams. I think if Canterbury are going to do well in the second half of this game, Phil Adams, Anderson, Parker in particular are going to really need to take control of this game. As you can see, Phil Adams playing dummy half to Wayne Anderson, checking back inside. Just the class and the confidence to check those balls in. Donaghy there, playing for Parker, and here they come. That's the short and the wrapper. Oh, that was on. This will be 0 touch on the intercept. So whānau, if you're not quite up with speed in terms of how our game is played, if you catch an intercept and you get touched, it's actually the 0 touch. It doesn't actually count as a touch. Only when the ball goes to the ground and changes hands. So a little bit of a rule change there to really open up a set of 6 and really reward teams that want to go and play for the ball.
Surprised Anderson and Adams haven't had their hands on the ball a little bit more down the attacking end. Are they just getting caught in the wrong part of the rotation, Reece, do you think? Or Wisang's just taking a little bit more of a lead in this situation?
Yeah, 100% great touch there from Kennel. We talked about it to Sean Brown out there about in the Manawa 230s team in that final how Mohi Opodi didn't get to see much ball, and unfortunately it's just sometimes the game doesn't go your way like that, and the ebbs and flows and the subbing sets and things like that. So yeah, it does happen, but there's plenty of time left in this game. It's only a 6-5 lead. I'm thinking I might as well say it, but I think Canterbury will strike back, and we're hoping for our first live stream drop off here. That'd be amazing to see these 45 Masters teams get down to 3-on-3 and go for about 20 minutes. Here, Jason Kennel, formerly in the Army, we know he'll run all day. Pateman there playing it on the wing, just a bit of a burner. Not to waste a touch, but just to open up the field. Here comes Kennel now. He'll look to pass this one off the deck. Beautiful left-hand pass. Nigel Heath looking to take the outside. Yeah, great defence there from Auckland. Trusting their system and trusting each other. Yeah, here comes Anderson, trying to orchestrate a few things here. Heath at dummy half, scoops, gives it to Anderson. Anderson diving for the line. Letting the referee know that it's a turnover.
Auckland there, good set of defence. Much better attack too from Canterbury. Throw a little bit more at them what they had been. Just going lateral here for the first touch. Now getting their way forward. Nice. It's very nice work here. Great yards there on the second touch for Auckland. Got them well and truly over halfway for the third one. Great. That was a key yard, that second one. Setting up now. As we see the number 13 swing into the middle, pointing to where he wants his number 3 to go. Pick. Probably going to go open side. Oh, back in the days.
Played out by Canterbury.
My understanding is that these days, if that happened, it'd be Canterbury ball. True story?
True story, but...
Touch him. What was that? Not sure that could have been a touch and pass when they had the ball.
I think what's happened is the lovely McIntyre Whānau walking past. I think that's a weird one because great defence. I think the Canterbury player went for the intercept and tipped it forward, and they'll be penalised for a forward pass. So that's very, very skillful. If tipping it forward on an intercept, playing at it, is classed as catch and pass. But we'll move on. Little wee quickie play here. Oh yeah, looking for the quickie bounce into a passive. I'm loving the way that this Auckland team is really setting up their game here. And here come Canterbury. They'll look to work hard down here. Phil Adams will be coming onto the field fresh as they drive forward. Dazza Wright, legend of our game, coming forward. There's Pateman, the winger, who's been very, very strong all day. Mike Donaghy's setting it up here. Here comes Adams out of half. He'll look to cook him short side. Passes. Number 12 in the corner. Aaron O'Halloran, the older brother of the famous Nick O'Halloran from Storm Tattoo down in Christchurch. Big shout out to the bro down there, and unfortunately tore his Achilles last week for the 30 men's. Auckland, their defence has just been slightly better in this game.
Yeah, no, much better, much more connected, Rod. I was going to ask, Canterbury really need they need a repeat set. Is there yards patterns, or is there some plays that you can do that sort of increase your chances of getting a penalty?
Oh, I mean, the one most common one that everyone uses is obviously trying to get something off the back of flow and hoping to catch everyone on the heels. But you can also use a lot of the quickie plays too to try and catch the defenders short on the line. Those are always good ones to go to, and you'll notice now these days 3 offences and you're on the side, so you'll notice a lot of teams try to use that.
Canterbury here working it away. Plenty of time to go, Reece.
Yep. I was just thinking they really need to somehow make sure that the right personnel is on the field here at the right time. So really Nigel Heath, he's going to need to come on. Here he is with the ball now, checking it back into Collier. Heath looking to get into the in goal. Here's the chance here now for Canterbury to level it up. Beautiful scoop into the in goal by Nigel Heath, who still looks like a spring chicken with those legs. Set it up, got into the in goal, and I believe that was Sean Collier gets that down for the leveller. Here we go.
Quite surprised the Auckland defender didn't sort of protest a little bit more, as you see him getting a bit of a barge over there from the Canterbury link, who ended up scoring. But I guess that stuff just happens in touch.
When I used to play club touch with Leon Skinner, I used to dive like that knees first too. He used to give me quite a bit of strife about it, but the fact that Donaghy actually had to fix his hat and then catch the ball and get that down, I'll tell you what, that's some skill set. I'll just usually let that thing fly off. But here we go. It's game on. It's 6-6 in Auckland, a hot attack. Splitting away, looking to work something here. Here we go, another crossover. They'll go back to it. It's a quickie bounce. And it looks like Auckland have received a penalty there. There's a few fists punching the ground over there in the Canterbury sub-box. With 6 minutes to go, the next try scorer, the next team to score, could be critical here. Looking for a crossover quickie play, yep. And a dive, yeah, that's ball down. That's ball down for me. Ooh, I'd love to see a replay on that one, but
you must have had your Blues hat on there rather than your Canterbury singlet.
I tell you what, I've got to pull my head in a wee bit. Great touch there. Great touch. And here go Auckland here as well. They'll probably go back to the well. They'll be looking for that crossover play and the dive. Looks like the link might be dropping on the left-hand side under the passive line. Yes. Call it.
Oh, I see that often sometimes. Referees just, it's almost like, oh, you touched them too hard and you dropped it, so just pick it up and play it. It's either one or the other.
Dingo play. Short ball.
Yeah, I noticed a little bit of a change in the Canterbury defence here. It looks like they're defending more man on now. They've sort of spread out a little bit. So, I wonder if that is an intentional change by them.
Yeah, I just think instead of man on, you'll see Keno there. He pulls his corner and takes the outside. Yep, that's the corner shutdown. But in that last Dingo play, I think it's depending on Rod, the move that they're trying to run, especially with the link coming down the lane, as we say. On the Dingo play, they're really trying to make link for link into man on. So, whereas if it's a 32 platform, they'll look to corner, take the short side away with the divers, and be there for the shutdown. So, critical 4.5 minutes coming up here in this 45 men's grade final. Easy touch there. Touch 4, 2 to go. 4 minutes 20 to go in this final, and it's been a ding-dong battle, and it was always going to go. I'm thinking it, I'm calling it. It's a 6-all. I'd love to see a drop-off. Here we go. Here's the Dingo play again. Looks to chuck long again. Was it a forward out of the hands?
Referee's running to the back corner, which normally is a signal for it being a touchdown. 7-6. Nice touch. As we say, it's still 4 minutes on the clock, but better to be one ahead than one behind.
Yeah, I think Auckland took their time there, and to condition this. There was the first few plays were tight, and they've been working that lane to long for a couple of times in the first half there, and this is the first time that it's ever come off. So, it was a good time to pull it out.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, Rod, you had identified that they were actually feeding the wrapper a couple of times, and that time he decided he was just going to step back and give it a whirl. And the conditions here, Whānau, if you can't already tell with those flags in the background, those ones are downwind coming off our right-hand side here. So well read and well executed. Here comes Canterbury now. Phil Adams on the quickie bounce. On the outside, Donaghy. Late cut with Kennel. There goes half. Phil Adams needs to get himself on the ball here. Weesung will look for something short with Phil Adams. Kennel needs a clean plant here. There it is. There's the long ball. And a draw feed, and as I said it, Phil Adams needed to get his hands on the ball. Beautiful off-the-deck pass by Weesung Parker. Phil Adams, with his speed and his ability to pass, put this winger under pressure, and a draw feed to his winger. And here we go again. We are locked up.
I wish there was only 10 seconds to go so we could have our first drop-off of the day.
I never wish to call mistakes, but gee, I'd love to see a drop off with this 45s grade. I can tell you right now, I could almost name the guys on one hand who are going to be involved with Canterbury. Rod, you're probably the same with Auckland, but with 2 minutes 20 to go, they've probably got one set each max here, which is great to see. It's a very, very tight battle, and that's what we want. And Auckland looking for the quickie play as well.
Big set of D here for Canterbury.
This is where your bread's earned on defence. Feeds the quickie, looks to bounce it back in on the hole. Beautiful touch by Nigel Heath. Classic corner shutdown defence from the Canterbury lads. I can tell you right now, Sean Collier, player, coach, legend, he'll be barking the orders in there. Gets under nice and tight. Oh, forward pass. Unlucky Auckland, but I'm cheering at home because I'm wanting this drop-off to happen.
I don't think Canterbury have been in the lead all game, and if you didn't know what the score was, you probably thought Auckland were up by 2, but it's 7-all, and now Canterbury got a set to go in front, and this will be, I think, a huge upset in terms of the momentum that most of this game's been played with.
I haven't seen Wayne Anderson out here for a while, so I'm not too sure if he's injured, but number 4 here, Nigel Heath, he will not sub off. A pure athlete and still very, very fit and strong, and here he comes, he's looking to sweep. No. Great touch there, great profile, pre-touch profile as well. There's Anderson as I speak for the diving touch right in front of the slushy drinking 40 men's. And it's touch, it's a great defensive touch. This will be the last set, so if Auckland want to win this one in regulation time, they're going to have to do it off the back a set of yards. Yeah, there's some lot of experience here. Darren Wright will need to be on his toes out here on the right-hand side for Canterbury as Auckland are moving through the field here. Can't see the touch count at the moment, but it's 3 or 4. Auckland have got a chance here to seal it in the last minute of play with the long ball over the top. Intercept there by the winger, beautiful. They might actually have 30 seconds to get down the field here.
They're going to get a crack. Oh, good touch, just wrecked their tempo. They need to get 3 good ones down the centre of the field if they can and pick off the back of it.
I think Canterbury will be very, very happy to go in here, but Wayne Anderson is really putting on a clinic here for Nelson as his young stalwarts from the Nelson mixed walk past our 10. Oh, she's a big error.
10 seconds.
So 7 seconds, we're going to get our first drop-off here in the Masters finals for the day. And there's the hooter, unless they got something up their sleeve. Oh, Auckland are wanting to play. Oh, yeah.
Here it is.
Here we go.
Christmas
so
come
before
early.
we
The first drop-off for our Masters finals. It's coming our second to last game in the 45 men's. Again, I think Canterbury will be probably feeling a little bit lucky here. Auckland in the lead for the majority of this game, as we see both teams get a minute just to collect themselves, organise who's going out there. I'm not sure who started the game in the second half, but obviously they'll be the team to start the drop-off here.
Canterbury tapped off. They made that mistake. And Whānau, if you don't know the drop-off, we go straight to 4 players per side for 2 minutes. It's a 2-minute segment. Regardless, if there's not a team out in the lead after 2 minutes, they then lose the player, and it goes 3-on-3 until we have golden point. I would say from the Canterbury point of view, Nigel Heath, he'll be one of them out there. Phil Adams will definitely be another one. In the 4, Wee-Sung Parker and Wayne Anderson. So, and as I can see, here we go. This is going to be a hot 2 minutes of action here, ladies and gentlemen. Our commentary box, we're on our feet. Wee-Sung Parker taps it off. Philly Adams, he'll look to get on the ball straight away. And here comes Nigel Heath. So I called the 4.
First penalty, not entirely sure. Looks like, looking at that signal, was offside. Really doesn't change too much in this format, though, really. It's almost easier, I would say, if you just let that attacking team get all the way down to the defensive line. Wee-Sung's going to be, I think, the man. I thought he might go out ball. As we see
the feet,
Auckland
step back to Phil Adams, gets it on the inside. Long ball to his winger. And there's the first try. Phil Adams is on the deck here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not too sure what's happened to him, but...
And this actually could cause something interesting here. Play doesn't stop in touch. It carries on, and so if Auckland don't get the opportunity as a result of the time being blown off here through the Canterbury player being injured, what you'd hope to see is, if possible, that Canterbury player being taken out at the back. Because as we're speaking, time's still going down, as you can see. We're now into 55 seconds. It's just one of those unfortunate things where we can't stop play. Obviously, Reece, we've got so many other games that are on. We've got another final starting at 4 o'clock. So Auckland, they're going to have roughly, as we see them, already into it, 40 seconds.
Quickie plate, looking to bounce him back out. Chucks long. Beautiful hands.
Passes are called forward. Still got 30 seconds on the clock. It'll definitely be enough time for probably 3 touches for Canterbury.
Yeah, and Phil Adams, it looks like he's got a bit of a jaw injury. He must have got clopped in the jaw, but he's critical to get back out there. Hopefully he's okay. He looks like he wants to get back out there. Person well adversed into the drop-off rules, Michael, the legend, MD, Mike Daly. Here comes Kennel looking to go to the outside. Checks back into Nigel Heath.
Only be 1 touch, and this will be it. Auckland will need to really D this one out. You see, just ticking over.
Here we go. Last touch, rips off. Wee-Sung Parker. Oh, we've got a penalty here in regulation, so they're going to have to play this one out.
What do you do, Reece? Do you try and score here?
Oh, you wouldn't want to throw an intercept just like that, so you want to keep your calm. 1's gone off.
Down to 3, Rod. What's the normal tactics on a down to 3 drop-off?
Oh, yeah. Most of the time, there's a lot of space now. There's a lot of space there. So the first thing is patience. Just making sure that you get through your set, and understanding that there will be space to the outside as Edmonds heads to the outside, trying to get down the line there. He's working with his partner Fraundlich and Mike Berry's obviously over on the third side, and he's got a big engine, so he will run.
Tell me you don't like the drop-off. This is exactly why we want to drop off. This is the best part of the game we've seen in 3 days. Auckland hot on attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, Whānau, this is golden point now, so first to score will take home the gold medal here. Auckland looking for a quickie play with the crossover, splits back. Oh, and here we go. Canterbury are going to get their chance here, Whānau. What a critical call from the referee, but they've been amazing over these finals day, and with the Masters grade here, Whānau. Canterbury, Phil Adams will stay on the field. I'll get Nigel Heath back out there. Jason Kino Matua, the lead pooko at Rolleston College, he's going to stay out there. It's 3-on-3. They'll look to work down the field, and then off last touch, Phil Adams and Wayne Anderson, one of the legends of New Zealand touches out there.
Quickie to the outside.
Here it comes here.
Gas.
He'll look the crossover. No, he's fed back to Anderson. Anderson plays for Adams. Adams throws it off the deck. Wisang Paka in the corner, goes for the dive.
What do we have?
He's gone for the dive, and the referee has called ball down first. And ladies and gentlemen, Canterbury 45 men's score in the corner in our first drop-off. It's a great piece of sportsmanship down there on the corner. What a game. We called it. I wanted the drop-off 4 minutes into this final. We got it. It goes down to Golden Point. Oh, Canterbury, how good, guys.
The subscription into the drop-off committee has just risen, but as you said, great finish by Canterbury. Well done to the Canterbury 45 men's winners of the 45 National Championship.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.